Okay, I just got back from seeing Batman vs. Superman. Now, I'm going to talk about the movie. So, I'm going to try my best to avoid spoilers, but I cannot guarantee anything. So, if you don't want the movie spoiled, I'm giving you a 10-second window to log out of this video. Okay? Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, window over. Okay, just got out of seeing the movie about an hour ago. Long movie. And yet felt remarkably fast. Slow in the beginning, but fast. Anyway, it was a more or less good movie. I mean, it definitely did not deserve that 30% Rotten Tomatoes. And that's coming from a guy who bashed the movie all day before he watched it. Because they already spoiled in the trailers, and it was obvious what was going to happen, and I was right. They did teaming up to stop Doomsday, save the world. So, yeah. But, what I couldn't predict is what happened next. They set up this whole thing where Batman and Wonder Woman go to find the other powered people. The Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman. They go to find all of them. And, I think it's pretty cool, honestly. I'm kind of bummed out there was no after credit scene. No after credit scene at all. So if you're watching this, in spite of the spoilers that I warned you about, heads up, there's no after credit scene. So don't waste your time. Anyway, but it was more or less a good movie. I guess the thing I could probably compare it to most in terms of movie quality and enjoyableness is Avengers: Age of Ultron. I mean, it was a okay sequel. It didn't live up to the hype. I mean, it was certainly enjoyable, but it wasn't like super good. And they tried to make a sequel as big as the first one, which was Man of Steel, and that was just a good movie. They did good casting for Superman. It just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's a good movie, but it isn't a great movie. That's the best way I can describe it. Anyway, but yeah. I liked it though. I liked it. I mean, I told myself, I hate that this movie is already spoiled, and I hate its simple and obvious premise, but I knew I would like it, and I was right. I did like it. It was a good movie, but it was just so random. I mean, the thing with Man of Steel, it was in the own little thing. It was like a small story, and with this one they just tried to expand too much. I mean, they brought in Batman right off the bat. They introduced Luthor. They brought in Wonder Woman like that. They have all these metahumans now. It's like, what the hell are you doing? DC's trying way too hard to catch up with Marvel. But, I have to admit, this was pretty good. I have a feeling it'd be better if they had waited until they came up with a Batman independent movie to do this. But, I gotta... Anyway, it was a good movie. But I don't like the way they expanded too much on the main story. I mean, that was in poor taste. I mean, even with Captain America: Civil War coming out, I mean, it's gonna be good. But even adding two heroes, those two heroes being Black Panther and Spider-Man, I think that's too much. And that's too much in itself. But adding all these other people in the Batman vs. Superman, it's just in poor taste. I mean, the thing that made Guardians of the Galaxy work is that even though it branched off of the main story, it wasn't part of the main story. It was its own little thing that was going to tie in later. but it wasn't pandering to viewers that were already interested in the franchise. It was simply creating its own relevance. So that's also part of the reason why I'm more excited for Suicide Squad than I was for Batman vs Superman, because it's doing the same thing Guardians of the Galaxy did. It's branching off of the main story, but it's its own little thing, and I think that's interesting. Plus, I love Will Smith. And, you know, say what you want about Jared Leto, he's a good actor, and honestly, his portrayal of the Joker, it isn't popular right now, but I'm gonna reserve my judgment until I actually see him in action. From what I've seen in the trailer they released recently, they got the crazy just right for him. I mean, they didn't get the look right. The look is messed up. I think that's probably the reason why people have a big problem. But the amount of crazy he has seems just about right. Same thing with Harley. You can argue all you want about her look. I'm not arguing that. That is a burnt bridge already. But the amount of crazy she has seems about right. And, it just looks good. It just looks good. And, I bet a bunch of you are pretty mad that I'm posting this. Because they're like, oh, you spoiled. Hey, don't blame me. I gave you a 10-second window to pull out. I told you there would be spoilers. In fact, after I post this, I'm going to write spoilers in big capital letters at the top and say, you are warned, beware, blah, 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 all that. So you can't blame me for this. Anyway, my point is, Batman vs. Superman, it was a good movie. A great movie, it was a good movie. Certainly enjoyable. And, you should go see it. Because they built something interesting here, and I'd kind of like to see how it turns out. And they have to make at least $800 million just to break even. So, go see it, at least once. I mean, it's not super good, but it's worth seeing. It's interesting. It's a good movie. And, yeah, even though it was a cliche, it was a good movie. So, that's pretty much it. Nothing else I have to say on the matter, except in the comics, Batman always wins. Batman always wins in the comics. He always wins. Kryptonite. Brains. Always wins. Batman always wins in the comics. Oh, and also, if any of you are getting pissed at Ben Affleck for being Batman, he actually did a good job in this. And he's actually quite a good actor. I mean, the thing with Daredevil was basically a fluke. And I think the reason Daredevil turned out so badly was not just because of the directing, which was awful, by the way. It was that Ben Affleck wasn't 100% in it. I mean, the reason he became Daredevil in the first place is because he actually thought it was the closest he'd ever get to becoming Batman. And it's funny to think about, because here we are, 12 years later, and he's Batman now. So it's like, you got what you wanted. So, yeah, he actually did a good job in this film as Batman. I have to admit, he did a good job. And, you know, he portrayed the part of Bruce Wayne very, very well. And I was pleasantly surprised. of the good job he did. And, yeah, he did. I admittedly did a good job. Oh, and if any of you complain about his suit, it's more comic book accurate than any of the other Batman suits they've had in any of the other movies. Especially Adam West. Don't get me wrong, Adam West was one of the first Batman, and we should respect him, but his Batman was just horribly inaccurate. And, yeah, it's super accurate. And if any of you complain about him using guns, it's all like, oh, Batman doesn't use guns, blah, blah, blah. Why is Batman using guns? But, baby, shut up. Batman actually uses guns in the comics. He doesn't use them often, though. He uses them when he needs to use them. It's sort of not a last resort, but a necessary resort if he needs it, you know? Like he's using guns against Superman. I mean, that's a given. How else are you supposed to fight a god, basically? So, but yeah, he does use guns in the comics. He just doesn't use them often. And if you think that ruins Batman, wait until you see the movie, because Ben Affleck is Beast as Batman using guns. And it really brings a lot of the dark undertone from The Dark Knight back into this movie. So, it's all like, okay, I like Ben Affleck now. So, yeah, I think that's about it. That's my review of the movie. And once again, if you're mad at me, kind of your own fault here. I gave you a warning. I gave you like 3 warnings. So, sorry. Anyway, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Is there anything else I need to say? Anything else I need to say? Oh yeah, my kryptonite. My kryptonite is women. I love women. That's my kryptonite. Got it? Okay, bye.